Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, guys. I'm continuing version 2 of my 2014 NFL mock draft. Picks 1 through 10 of version 2 are already up, so be sure to check those out. This is the video for picks 11 through 20, as I said, and I'll follow this up with picks 21 through 32 in a separate video. So we'll get right to it here. Pick number 11, the Tennessee Titans. Now that it's been announced that Ray Horton will be Ken Whisenhunt's defensive coordinator, he's going to come and run that hybrid scheme that he's known for. And I think what the Titans need now is that edge pass rusher that fits in perfect in his defense. And Anthony Barr is sitting there nicely at pick 11, and I think he's the ideal pick here for the Titans. Anthony Barr, the outside linebacker from UCLA to the Titans at number 11. Pick number 12, the Giants. I think this is a situation where one of the Giants, if not the Giants' biggest need, the best player available falls to them nicely, and that's C.J. Mosley, the linebacker from Alabama. It'll give them a steady presence in the linebacking core, a guy that can play all three downs, and a guy who's been a consistent force on the college level. And despite some minor injury concerns, I think that presence continues at the pro level. Pick 13 is the Rams, and the Rams are an interesting case. If you remember, I think a lot of people expect them to trade out of the second pick, so they'll have 2 picks here, probably in the top 13. And this pick, I like for them to go receiver. I think they need another big play receiver, more of a quintessential wide receiver type in relation to Tavon Austin, who they traded up and got last year. Mike Evans, the wide receiver from Texas A&M, I think can be that guy. The Rams have spent a lot of picks in the last 3 or 4 drafts on wide receivers that didn't pan out. I think you have Tavon Austin in the fold, get Mike Evans to go along with him and see if they can be the weapons along with Jared Cook that Sam Bradford needs. Pick 13, Mike Evans to the Rams. Pick 14, the Bears. I still have the Bears going defensive tackle. I think even if on the outside shot they can retain a Henry Melton, I still think they need help at that defensive tackle spot because of how bad that rush defense was last year. And, a guy to me that's really vaulted up my big board and also my mock draft is Aaron Donald, the defensive tackle for Pittsburgh. He was dominant all year in college. So I guess no one should have been surprised when he was dominant at the Senior Bowl. And yes, he's a little bit undersized, but I think he fits perfectly in that 4-3 scheme that the Bears run. And I think he'll be a true asset there at pick 14 to the Bears. Aaron Donald, the defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. Pick 15 with the Steelers. Now, the Steelers are interesting because they have several needs. Do they take another shot at an offensive tackle where they haven't had much success in drafting one? I happen to think just because of the fact that Clinton-Dix is available here at pick 15, they go that way. Because to get a player of this caliber in the middle of the first round, again, the top player available on my big board at this point, I think he's the logical choice to get younger in the secondary. Remember, they drafted Shamarko Thomas last year at strong safety. You get Clinton-Dix at free safety, be able to integrate these guys in as some of the older guard for the Steelers are on their way out. I look at him as being a value pick here, sort of similar to how Kenny Vaccaro was in the middle of the first round to the Saints last year. Pick number 16 belongs to the Ravens, the rival of the Steelers in the AFC North. And I was going in between wide receiver and offensive tackle here. I am not as high on Marqise Lee as some other people are, especially here to the Ravens, where wide receiver is a need. But for me, I think an even bigger need is going to be that tackle spot now opposite Eugene Monroe. You figure they re-signed Monroe because they traded for him last season. He's going to be their franchise left tackle. Michael Orr is also a free agent. You figure they move on from him. And I like for them to add Taylor Lewan, the offensive tackle from Michigan. Why? Because I have Lewan rated ahead of Marqise Lee overall, and we know Ozzie Newsome goes for the best player available. So best player available combined with the need, Lewan from Michigan here. Pick number 18, the Jets. On the other hand, while the Ravens might not be enticed to go after Marqise Lee, again, I don't have Marqise Lee rated that high overall. I have some concerns for him at the pro level, but the Jets are in desperate need of a playmaker. And remember, this is a mock draft, not my big board. This isn't how I rank the players. You try to fit need and scheme, to the team and to the player and try to marry those two a lot in a mock draft. And I think the need for playmakers is so big with the Jets that they get the best playmaker available here. And right now on offense, that guy is probably Marqise Lee. So Marqise Lee, pick number 18 to the Jets. Pick 19, the Dolphins. Look, the Dolphins had problems on that offensive line before the incognito Martin mess. And obviously, after that happened, those problems became more pronounced. Ryan Tannehill sacked 58 times last year. They need to address that offensive line. Cyrus Kouandjio, the tackle from Alabama, I think a good fit here. I think he could be similar to DJ Fluker. There were some questions about him, the same kinds of questions with effort and motor that were solved this year in San Diego once he was coached up. I think the same thing could happen for Kouandjio. The last pick here, pick number 20, belongs to the Cardinals. Again, another team with some needs. I think their biggest need is tackle, offensive tackle. But at this point, I have all the first-round worthy tackles outside of Zach Martin already picked. And I think in this case, I think they go best player available at a position of need. I think cornerback is another position of need for them. So instead of a Zach Martin, which may be a little bit of a reach at this point, I have them going for Justin Gilbert, the cornerback from Oklahoma State. A lot of people have him going before Darqueze Dennard, who I have going 10 to the Lions. I have Gilbert going after Dennard at pick 20 here to the Cardinals. Guys, let me know what you think of picks 11 through 20 of version 2 of my mock draft. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Again, be sure to check out the rest of this mock draft and all my other NFL videos here on YouTube, guys. I have a whole library full of them, so be sure to check them out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you get any new videos that I do post on here. It's completely free. Thanks again for listening. Have a great night.